Okay, for today's lesson, chapter 11, lesson 8, we're going to be talking about comparing and measuring mass. So I have some different items on the table over here, and we're going to be weighing them in grams, kilograms, or milligrams. Milligrams is the smallest amount. So you would weigh small things in milligrams, like an aspirin or a grain of sand. You would use milligrams to weigh those small things. Grams you would use to weigh things that are bigger than that, like an egg or a spoon of sugar. And kilograms we would use for heavier objects, like you and I, we would weigh ourselves in kilograms. So let's experiment with the different masses of these objects that I have here. I have a scale that we're going to use that's going to measure things in grams, and I have a piece of paper with all my items here so I can chart and mark off how many grams, milligrams, or kilograms each of these objects weigh. So I'm going to turn on my scale. And so I don't know if you can see there, but it's at 0, and it says G there. G stands for grams, so we're going to be measuring and weighing in grams, all right? So I'm going to take this egg, it's a raw egg, not cooked. What type of weight, how much do you think this weighs in grams, all right? So I'm going to say maybe 50 grams. All right. It says here the egg is 63 grams, so I was a little bit off, so I'll record it. 63 grams. I'll just put a G for grams, short form. Next, I'll weigh my potato. It's a sweet potato. It's a little bit different shape than a regular white potato. If an egg is 63 grams, we can see that the sweet potato is much bigger than the egg, much larger than the egg, so it's got to have a greater mass. So I'm going to say maybe 200 grams. Oh, I was way off. It's 462 grams. 462 grams. I'll record that. Now I have a bag of flour. It's a small bag of flour here. And it's about double, feels like double the weight of the potato. So I would say this bag of flour is maybe 1,000 grams. So I was close. It was 966 grams. I'll record that. 966. And 966 is very close to 1,000. And we know 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. So this is about 1 kilogram of flour. Now let's weigh the apple. So the apple is much lighter than the potato, but heavier than the egg. So I would say maybe it's 100 grams. It's 155 grams. All right, then we have some candy, which you guys all know, Skittles. So this is like relatively light. Almost the same weight as the egg. I will say it is 60 grams. It's actually 65 grams. And then we have here a squash. So this is quite heavy. If I compare it to the potato, it's much heavier than the potato, so I know it's more than 462 grams. If I compare it to the flour, they're very similar. This one seems a little bit heavier. So maybe I'll say 1,200 grams or 1 kilogram, 0.2. All right, I said 1,200, it's 1,410, so I was off by a little bit. So 1,410 grams or 1 kilogram and 410 grams, because we know that 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. And then finally we have here some peanuts, right? So I can do this experiment now because Alessandro's no longer allergic to peanuts, so we can work with peanuts even though we're not together. So the peanuts are too light for me to put on the scale. It won't read it because it's a little bit too light. So I'm going to take the apple. The apple is 163 grams, and then I'm going to add the peanuts to it. and now it's 155 grams. All right, so we can say that one peanut, I took one peanut off, so the apple is 153, and the peanut on top of it is 154. So we know that 1 gram is equal to about 1 peanut, all right? So 1 peanut is 1 gram. The scale is not sensitive enough to pick up the weight of the peanut by itself, but when you put something heavier on with it, so the apple's 154, 155, or approximately there, you put the peanut on there in the center, and it goes up by 1 to 155. So we know that the peanut is 1 gram. All right, so that's our lesson on comparing and measuring weight. We can use grams, milligrams, or kilograms to measure things, all right? So now you're going to complete lesson 8 in chapter 11. Good luck.